A young couple gets stuck in the sticks, and they have to spend the night in the creepiest cabin in the middle of nowhere. Luckily, they have 3 strangers to keep them occupied throughout the night. If you liked the original movie, well, why not watch it again? But this time with a watered-down 2024 twist in The Strangers. Here we go again. Hello there, you Lucians, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, the new Strangers movie, directed here by Rennie Harland. Wait a minute, surely this is a different Rennie Harland. What? That Rennie Harland? Jeez, Hollywood, I know Cutthroat Island was an enormous bomb. Catastrophic, you may say. But come on, the dude has learnt his lesson. Giving him a Strangers remake to direct? Naughty. Anyway, we're introduced to Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman Light here, Maya and Jeff, who come across as they've just walked out of a Californian screen acting class and on the set of a shitty remake. It's their 5-year anniversary, and they decide to celebrate this by taking a detour in a very secluded, creepy town which can only go well. They stop for a bite to eat at the local diner, and all the locals start ogling them. And the whole town are trying to work out what horror movie should we reenact on these two. Hills Have Eyes? No, not that creepy. Deliverance? No, too grapey. I know, how about The Strangers? Surely there's a nostalgia factor for that now. I mean, it's only been about, 15 bloody years. Anyway, shock and horror, their car won't start. So they decide to Airbnb a creepy cabin while the creepy mechanic fixes their car creepily. They head to the cabin and try and play a game of hide the salami before, you guessed it, a knock at the door by a creepy girl hidden in shadow on the porch. And she asks if Tamara is home. This sounds familiar. Of course, there is no Tamara present in the cabin, and the girl leaves, creepily. Then Wet Blanket Jeff decides to leave Maya in the cabin all on her lonesome because they're trying to reenact every beat from the original. This time he has to head out back to town, not to get his girlfriend a pack of cigarettes, no, in this remake he has to leave to get his asthma inhaler. Anyway, Maya is all on her lonesome, and the strangers begin to antagonize her and freak her out. This sounds familiar. This is where the unsettling and creepiness really sets in, while having the strangers stalk her and creep about the house unbeknownst to Maya. You know, just like in the first movie. She gets all kinds of freaked out, then Jeff rocks up with a new air of alpha male. Clearly he'd been listening to the Joe Rogan Experience on his way back to the cabin, and he starts storming around, acting like a man not to be messed with. But Jeff acts like he's straight out of LA, which we all know is softer than baby shit. Because we all know there are no manly men in Hollywood anymore. That's problematic. Can't wait for the remake of Die Hard where they cast a grizzly bear. Current references. I'd like to walk you through what happens next in the film, but just go watch the original Strangers from 2008. Because this film copies every single beat of that film, and somehow makes it shitter. There is one original tense scene though under the cabin, but that's it. And before I get some broccoli-headed troll online saying, it's a remake, it's supposed to be the same. Is it? Because last I checked, there was nothing wrong with the first original film. And it's not even that old. A remake of a film like Suspiria, I can understand. A decent, creepy horror film that had some pieces missing, and the remake tried to piece it together and rectify that. Personally, though, I prefer the original, but hey, a remake of Dawn of the Dead arguably didn't necessarily need to happen, but it expanded on the story in the shopping mall and the what if this all actually happened. The Invisible Man did something completely different with the concept, and had a domestic violence storyline attached to it, and used a different kind of science. But copying everything from the original film for no fucking reason? This movie sits amongst other pointless remakes, like Poltergeist, The Omen, and Psycho, for God's sake. There's no reason for this film to exist other than setting up a trilogy. Fuck off! How about you make a good first movie and see where you go from there? How about we do a film on the origins of Tamara? This masked bitch has been going on everyone's porch, knocking on doors, asking about her. Who is she? Are we not done, Hollywood, with setting up a film saga? Of course, they set up a sequel with a to be continued tagline that pops up on screen. However, I know exactly where this is going. And if you're not a moron, which I know you're not, you'll notice a very popular horror actor in the diner earlier on in the film. He says absolutely nothing in the scene, yet looks all sus, and the camera focuses on him more than once. He clearly is the main stranger. You know, the one with the sack on his head. I'm calling it right now. Spoiler alert! Fucked up a big twisty twist reveal in the second movie, did I? This film was marketed, well, at least in my country, as find out where the strangers came from. Bullshit! You know, if this film gets any backlash from that advertisement, they're going to come back with a, well, it's all going to be explained in the second film. Okay, J.J. Abrams. It's a beat for beat remake for no fucking reason. This film made me angry. Can you tell? Go watch the original, guys. That's all I can say. Plus, too, in the original, Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman had way more charisma. And their characters were actually going through some shit at the beginning of the film before the strangers even showed up. Anyway, guys, that's my cheeky little review of The Strangers Chapter 1. Write down below if you've seen it. What are your thoughts on it? But more importantly, what is your favourite installment of The Strangers? And of course, if you've made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly. And I'll see you back here next week for the next review, but until then, stay spooky, kids.